Please be advised that everything in my video is purely for entertainment purposes. These are purely my thoughts and opinions and are subjective. I must advise you to please do your own research. All media users found on the public domain and are fair use and fair dealings.
Hi guys, hope you're doing okay. Super shiny hair. Got a new conditioning treatment and it's all silky and soft. It's gone very blonde from the sun. As you can see, I've had a little bit of sunbathing outside. Not too much actually. It's just where I've been trying to do this couch to 5k. I'm now on week 5. The app is telling me that apparently my third run, well, I've already done one. You get 3 runs a week. And I've done the first one today and it's telling me my third run this week I'm going to be running for 20 minutes straight. Yeah, right. I know some of you guys that are fitness buffs and healthy and stuff, you'll be like 20 minutes, that's nothing, I can do 13k, blah blah blah. For me, I can't even run up the stairs without being what did I come up here for? So we'll see. So if I go really quiet next week, like you don't hear anything from me all week, then yeah, just no, don't worry, I'm only joking. I shouldn't really joke about stuff like that. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I don't know about you guys, I'm so over this lockdown now. I'm getting really bored. I don't know what's happening one day to the next. I've given up reading the news. I've given up reading the Prime Minister's kind of announcements, because if you live in the UK, it's all just there's so much bad stuff going on in the world at the moment. I'm just avoiding the news at all costs. It's not because I don't care what's going on in the world, but because I'm just so sick of just watching the news for 5 minutes or reading the news, and it makes me so sad. And I can't be sad and do these videos because as some of you say, you really cheer me up. So I can't watch the news at the moment. I'll wait for a news alert if anything urgent happens. So if I've got to leave the house or something, there's an asteroid coming. I'm hoping the dog would signal, but seeing as she spends about, I'd say, there we go. That's pretty much about, I'd say 98% of her life in bed asleep. So anyway, that's enough about me rambling about me, because I know some of you really hate it, don't care. So the title of this video, Harry Wants Back. Does he now? Now, it's not quite, it is a little bit of a trickery, you guys. I do apologise. It's what the newspapers and magazines do to us. Basically, Harry was speaking to someone at Invictus. I'm presuming this is on Harry's farewell tour that they did. That never ending, we're leaving, let's do a tour again and again. But he's apparently talking to an Invictus soldier. The soldier went on to tell the newspaper that he didn't inquire too much about Harry's personal life, obviously knowing that he was going to LA, but he did ask, about missing the military and stuff. And Harry said that he was very sad to be leaving it, but he hoped to come back to the position of Captain General of the Royal Marines. I was like, going to come back to it. Didn't he quit it? I mean, I know that he's quit all of his military jobs and stuff by proxy, by quitting the country, but it was just, apparently this is what he told this soldier, that it wasn't anything to do with any of the other military roles, but this is the one that he hopes he can come back to one day. If this is true, then surely he's kind of deluded, really, to think that a position like that's just going to stay open, until Harry's got bored of the latest thing that he's doing, or LA doesn't work out for him. I'm sorry, but the military, I know it is an honorary position, but still, the military is not a dress-up box. You can't just suddenly go, oh, I like that uniform, I'll put that one on. He quit. I find that offensive that he thinks that he'd just be able to walk back into it. But worse, I really hope that Queen and Charles don't think that if his marriage does break down and he comes back with his tail between his legs, that they can just put him back in that appointment. I mean, he was very lucky. I know some people couldn't understand when they went to the Mountbatten Music Festival while people stood and applauded and stuff. Now, the thing is, the way the newspapers and the media made it look, I guess on purpose, was the fact that they were applauding Harry and Meghan. But what actually happened, the truth was, they were late. They were already late. I'll show you the clip here and you can look at the guy's face next to him. They were already, all of the crowd were already stood up and they were applauding because I believe a band had already played or they'd come out and introduced themselves. I don't really know the ins and outs in it, but basically the applause was already happening. Harry and Meghan then walk in and then awkwardly try and get the programmes off the seats. Meghan doesn't know what to do with her handbag, but they stand there and rather than applaud, it was almost like they believed that that round of applause was for them, and it wasn't. They should have stood there and clapped themselves, because it was quite clearly obvious that everyone was clapping bore whoever it was on stage. You can tell by the direction that everyone's looking. I mean, look at this clip.
But loads of people thought that they got a standing ovation. They actually turned up late to the Mountbatten Music Festival. This is them arriving late. Check out this guy's face. Bearing in mind the rank that Harry has, people were not impressed with them here. And obviously I think that the band had been introduced, or the band had already been playing. You can see everyone is looking forward to the stage and clapping. And Harry and Meghan don't clap. Meghan literally soaks it up like it was all for her. She makes no effort to she doesn't even let go of his hand. And Harry stood there wiping stuff off his mouth, straightening his uniform. This is not becoming of an officer. It's not really great behaviour for someone that holds such a high rank.
Now, when they got booed before at the Royal Albert Hall, it was a variety show, which means it was a general public. You, me, Joe Bloggs could have gone to it. And there was that booing, wasn't there, famously, which upset him. This is a military event, so it's military partners and personnel. Now, they have respect and honour and duty, and as much as they think that Harry might be a complete twonk, and I don't know if that's a real word, but it's one that I don't believe is swearing, but they're not going to boo him, are they? They're not going to go, whoa, whoa, yeah, what's it, beep, beep. They're not going to do that and shout up to Harry and Meghan, because Harry and Meghan are there. And it didn't matter who was there, whether it was the Princess Royal, Prince Edward, Sophie and that. They are there to represent the Queen. So they would have got a round of applause anyway. Applause. I'm really stuttering my words today. Take a breath, calm. Right, there we go. Yes, okay, I know these positions are ceremonial, a lot of them, for members of the royal family that have done some form of service. But a big but is Harry quit. He quit being royal. Whilst he hasn't given up the title Prince Harry, he chose to not be a member of the royal family. He tried to drag it across to LA and the Queen said no. But he quit the Queen, he quit the country, he quit the military, he quit everything. So for him to have the audacity to think that he can just come back to it one day, oh, wow. He was only made Captain General in December 2017. He gave that position about as long as Meghan did, giving it, you know, being a Duchess. When you think that they got married in May 2018, it's not too dissimilar, is it? So he took that position, probably at that point, from what we're understanding now, already knowing that he was technically going to try and get out, get the titles and do a bunk. Because as I said, the truth has all been coming out with these Meghan stories that she's been plotting and planning since before the wedding. Reportedly, under the rules of Megxit, they were allowed 12 months. The Queen called it was 12 months for them to adjust, but it seems to be that the 12 months that Harry and Meghan think that they can just, walk through like it's a saloon door. I really hope the Queen and Charles don't think that, because the UK public are really not going to be that forgiving. Harry chose to leave his country, he chose to leave his family, he chose to leave everything behind. He chose to leave his military positions behind, as I said, by proxy. You know, you quit the country, you quit the Queen, you stick your fingers up at the Queen, you're not going to keep your military roles. Now, to top that off, when he was Captain General of the Royal Marines, yes, I am going to bring it up because some of you that are not aware of it, most of us are now, he chose to not go to a memorial concert for 11 Marines that had lost their lives in an IRA attack. Now, okay, it was the anniversary. It's not that they lost their lives recently, but it was a huge deal, and they'd invited Harry a long time beforehand. And then apparently his officers didn't respond, and then they eventually said last minute that he couldn't make it due to other arrangements. As it turns out, that other arrangement was taking his wife to hug Beyonce and to scout for his wife for work for Disney. And the worst thing is, this memorial concert is in Deal in Kent, or was, sorry. Deal in Kent is a 2-hour drive from London. Harry could have gone to it, even if he just showed his face for half hour, read out a speech, and just, it was during the daytime, he could have done to that and got a helicopter back. You imagine 2 hours driving from Deal to London, how quick a helicopter. It's not like Harry is not afraid of using expensive modes of transport, you know, VIP transport. So he could have gone to both if that's what he really wanted to do, but he didn't. So that goes to show the level of honour that he has for wearing that uniform. He's very lucky at that Mountbatten festival, music festival, that they did actually take their positions, you know, their honour to the Queen and sense of duty very seriously, because as I said before, they probably would have turned their backs and booed if they really had a choice. I did hear personally, I've got friends in the military, that you know, people don't like him. They're not very happy, and that whole situation with Deal really disgusted a lot of people. Plus the way that Brexit was announced, as I said, he only had the position since 2017. He hasn't taken it seriously. It's like Harry just sees it as, what, dress up. And as for Meghan, it still really irks me. She wore a matching dress, matching colour. You do not do that. You do not do that when you go to any military event or military ball. No, it doesn't mean you're going to get chucked out. It's just offensive to match your dress to your partner's uniform. It just doesn't seem right. But it's Meghan being that ultra feminist. She's equal to Harry. She's more important than Harry. I'm surprised she didn't have her own sort of medals stitched onto her dress, to be honest with you. Social Climber of the Year. Now, that's not to say that they didn't get some booing though, because obviously they had to get in and out of the event, and whilst the military inside might have been nice, I do believe that the media did cover up, or they did only allow a certain number of public around to the entrance and exit point, because Meghan's thunderous face when they actually left the event.
Come back soon, Harry! Harry, come back soon! We love you, Harry!
Now, Princess Anne, the Princess Royal, she's been hotly tipped to take over this position. Now, this is pretty impressive because she would be the first woman to ever hold the rank of Captain General of the Royal Marines. Princess Anne is a wonderful member of the royal family. She's one of the hardest working members of the royal family. She honours all her military royals with pride and respect. This obviously didn't go unnoticed by the childish Sussexes, who, when they were doing their angry temper tantrum email when they weren't getting Brexit the way they wanted, one of the things that they put in there, if you remember, was them saying, alongside the Queen doesn't own the word royal, they made a point of saying that Harry's positions will not be filled during this 12 months. So obviously that's their little swipe of saying keep it open. But I mean, my God, the absolute audacity of those two to say that no, if it doesn't work out for us after everything that we've done, all the money that we've spent in LA, then we can come back when we want and pick up where we left off. Yeah, good luck. Try that one. See how well that goes down. Personally, I think the way that they behaved, I know the Queen was worried about looking petty, but she should have given Anne that role immediately. Or if it was Prince Philip, because it was Prince Philip that handed it over to Harry. I'm sure, though we don't see him anymore, he's probably, you know, behind the scenes and has a few words to say. I only just wish that we could hear them, because I reckon that it would be newspaper gold. So I'm going to put it to you guys. Who would you want to be Captain General of the Royal Marines? A whiny, spoiled 35-year-old man-child that's attacked his family publicly. He's called all of the public racist. He has basically abandoned the country that's adored him. He was part of the angry retaliation on the Sussex website, the retaliation to the Queen, saying about, you know, his elderly grandmother that adored him, talking about that the Queen doesn't own the word royal and, you know, he's internationally protected. That wasn't just signed off by Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex. That was also signed off by Prince Harry, his Royal Highness, his royal pain in the bottom, Duke of Sussex. He left the Queen, he left the duty, he left the country, all to live a shallow life of celebrity whilst living off other people's money. Or, my alternative, would you prefer it to go to a princess who at 23 years old, despite having just had her bodyguard, her driver, a police officer and a journalist shot in front of her by a crazed attacker, who was now waving a gun in her face, screaming at her to come with him and to get out of the car, responded with, "Not bloody likely." And she and her husband at the time, Captain Philip, fought back until she was saved by chance by a passerby who, funny enough, happens to be an ex-boxer, Ronnie Russell. Very true stories, both of them. They both sound made up, but they are very true. A princess 23 years old that looked a gunman in the face after watching everyone around her, bar her husband, get shot, who said, "No bloody way am I going with you." Or the snivelling, whining, "I'm a victim, everybody's mean to me, Harry." Both stories tell you very much about the person that was involved in them, and personally what a prestigious honour as Captain General of the Royal Marines, who it should go to. But I'll let you guys decide on that one. Anyway, that's it for me. Be back with you really soon. Take care. Bye.
If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. Please, angry typists, you will be blocked, so save your fingers the time. If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.